Hey guys, so today we're here to talk about Gabbie Hanna. Now, I have to preface this by saying that I have never been a Gabbie Hanna fan or follower or anything like that. I kind of somehow avoided her and Trisha Paytas for my entire life on YouTube. I know, magical. Obviously, I've heard about her through drama and stuff, and I recently became more aware of her based on Smokey Glow's like evolution of Gabbie Hanna video, and also her recent outbursts against random people who didn't deserve it online. And so I started doing some more research into Gabbie Hanna, and now she's releasing a series. So I will link down below. I think it was Repzion did like an not an evolution of Gabbie Hanna, but like it basically was an overview of all of her drama. So if you want to research into that, I will link it down below. It's a very good video, very well researched. But today we're here to talk about her new series. So far she has released episode 0 and a preface, I don't fucking know. So we're gonna go through them because apparently she's gonna be uploading a video a day for I think 8 days. Am I gonna try to do this? I don't know. I'm getting my vaccine shot, my second vaccine tomorrow. So like, I would like to film a video like every 2 days, like every 2 Gabbie Hanna videos, but I don't know if I have it in me. I don't know if I have it in me, okay? But we're trying. So she released episode 0 and the preface already. Before getting into this video, subscribe to my channel up every Tuesday and Thursday, and you should stick around. We talk about shit here, and we're going to be talking about the Gabbie Hanna series. I'm going to watch it, so you don't have to. You're welcome. So in episode 0, it really just covers Gabbie and Trisha's beef. And like, when we really boil it down, Gabbie Hanna and Trisha are beefing about whether or not they were friends. Like, when you're looking at 2 figures like Gabbie Hanna and Trisha Paytas, who have had some of the most ridiculous and like offensive dramas known to man on YouTube, and that this is what I have to fucking talk about is whether or not they were friends, I want to cry a little bit. So, but we're gonna do it anyways, just for you. So Gabbie basically released unreleased footage from the podcast they did together earlier this year where they talked about their drama. In it, Trisha doesn't come off very well, but also when I was watching Smokey Glow's recent video about Gabbie Hanna, she said that if you watch the rest of the podcast, in the beginning of the podcast, Gabbie Hanna was literally trying to convince Trisha about things that have been factually proven to not have happened. So in the clips, Trisha does seem very defensive and like off-put, and like also in the beginning of the podcast, apparently Gabbie Hanna is just like trauma dumping and like crying and like all things that Trisha did not sign up for, because to Trisha they're not friends. And they were here to talk about their beef and kind of squash it and like get over it. So it makes sense when you think about that in terms of this podcast, because like I said, Trisha doesn't look the greatest, but like also, are we expecting Trisha to look good? I'm confused. I mean, first I want to talk about the timing of this video. It's very clear that the timing of this video is super capitalistic. She's capitalizing on the fact that Gabbie Hanna or that Trisha Paytas is on the outs. Since the frenemies drama, everyone's basically turned against Trisha. Her redemption arc has fallen off a fucking cliff because she acted ridiculous in that situation and won't stop making videos about it. And I'm sure she's gonna make videos about this series of Gabbie Hanna'S. So basically, Gabbie waited for public perception of Trisha to fall off before she posted this series, because she has been teasing it for a long ass time. And then on top of that, there's another reason why this series is terrible timing that I will touch on at the end, but let's go through the series, or this episode. Like, overall, the episode is Gabbie Hanna trying to convince Trisha that they were friends. And while it is proven in the episode that they had texted a lot over the years, it's also proven in the episode that Trisha basically told Gabbie that she feels like she hates her, and when they've met in person, she's felt that Gabbie is standoffish. And like, let me just boil it down for you. This is just 2 people who are insecure and are very different people and have different perceptions of what happened and what a friendship is. Gabbie Hanna is the kind of person that doesn't, you know, she showed these screenshots of them having very personal conversations about like breakups and body image and all sorts of stuff, and Gabbie's like, we're friends. And to Gabbie, that's friendship. Gabbie is the kind of person that only has these kinds of conversations with people that she's close friends with. Trisha, on the other hand, is the kind of person that it probably texts with tons of people. She does call Gabbie Hanna a character online that she comments on, which like is kind of rude, but it's very clear that Trisha is playing a character. Like, nobody knows what the real Trisha Paytas is. And that's part of the issue, is that, like, Gabbie's trying to catch Trisha in these lies, but just because Trisha says something doesn't mean that Trisha ever believed the thing she said. Like, we all know that to be true from Trisha. She made, like, pro-Trump videos when she never even voted. She's done all sorts of shit that she just says. Like, I don't know if Trisha's brain registers things before they come out of her mouth, other than like, oh, maybe this will get me clout. It doesn't mean she believed it, even if she said it. And Trisha, while she texted Gabbie, does not mean that to her that means they're friends. Like she said in the text, when they met, she felt that Gabbie was standoffish, and Gabbie was like, well, why didn't you just come up to me? And it's very clear that Trisha has her own insecurities. She thinks that everyone on YouTube hates her. She's always kind of felt left out. It was very clear from the Frenemies drama that she like feels like an outsider, and she's always felt left out. And like, that's Trisha's own thing. Trisha's the kind of person that is an extrovert online, but when it comes to talking to new people in person, she's probably a shy person, which I know is hard for people to believe, but like, I am a loud, obnoxious ass bitch when you know me, but when I meet new people, I don't talk to anybody. I'm like super awkward and weird, but like once you get to know me, I'm like loud and crazy and whatever, but that's just me. I'm awkward when I meet new people, but then I'm more extroverted once I know people. And I feel like Trisha's kind of the same, and then Trisha's insecurities also play into that, where she's like, well, Gabbie, you never came up to me, and Gabbie's at this party, I think it was Joey's party, and then Gabbie's like, well, you never came up to me, you could have come up to us and talked to us. But Trisha felt that because Gabbie didn't come up to her, she was standoffish. So I think in Trisha's mind, she basically was like, oh, we must not be friends because she didn't talk to me in real life, we just text. And also, texting with people doesn't make you friends. Like, she could think of that as an acquaintance, or like she said, like a work colleague. Like, you guys are just YouTubers who technically work together. And there are lots of work colleagues that I have talked to every single day and texted, and they know all about my life and my husband and everything, but that doesn't mean that I would call those people friends. I would call them work colleagues, or as Trisha would call them, a character she tweets about online. Like, cruel. Like, in the podcast, Trisha comes off rude, and Gabbie comes off slightly more stable than normal. But I don't think that that means that Trisha owes Gabbie an apology or vice versa. I think it's very clear that it's just two people who had two very different perceptions of the same situation, and I don't know why we care. I don't care, but here I am talking about it. Like, I don't know why this is drama, but whether or not they were friends, and then now they both think that the other one's gonna kill them, and it's like, okay, both of you just need to stop talking about it. I will say, Trisha did stop talking about it, but Gabbie wouldn't stop talking about it, and now she's releasing this stuff, so it's like, okay, Gabbie, listen, just like, let it go, girl, let it go. Like, she's like tweeting about how Trisha's dangerous and stuff, and it's like, listen, you both have different perceptions of the same event, and that's okay. That's why the saying is there's three sides of every story: your side, their side, and what actually happened. Oh, I also just realized that I might have said she instead of they for Trisha. I know she uses she and they, but they prefer they. So like, I'm sorry, I spent my whole life talking about her in one way, and I just thought about it right now, so I'm gonna fix it for the rest of this video. I will say, I will say there's also the herpes situation where Gabbie said that Trisha had herpes. Gabbie told Jason this, and Trisha obviously was upset about it. Gabbie says that she didn't leak that it was Trisha online, but I can't find the proof of this, but I remember at the time that Gabbie did show Trisha's name, like not cropped properly in a screenshot, at least slightly, enough that people could recognize that it was Trisha. So I think that like I'm very torn about the herpes situation, I'm not gonna lie, because while I agree that people's sexual health should not be up for discussion and should not be shared, at the same time, if like I was Gabbie and Jason was my best friend and I had learned what I did about Trisha, who, keep in mind, Gabbie learned this from a reputable source who was Shane Dawson, who was Trisha's best friend. So Gabbie had no reason to question this. And if I was Gabbie and I had heard this from a reputable source and my friend was gonna have unprotected sex with this person, I would probably tell them too. I'm sorry, I know it's not PG and it's not right, but humans are complicated. And I think in that instance, it's like I would tell them too. Was Gabbie in the right? I don't know. It could go either way. I don't think she should have posted about it. I think her posting about it was 100% in the wrong, and that's where Gabbie crossed the line. But at the same time, I can kind of see the situation. Like, I get it. But I also could understand why Trisha would be like at that time, wow, Gabbie's a bitch. I guess we were never friends. Done. I've never even talked to this girl. We're not even real friends. So like, I feel like it could go either way. Either they had two perceptions of the same event. To Gabbie, they were friends. To Trisha, they weren't, because Trisha is obviously a very open person. They probably talk about they talk about stuff like this stuff online all the time. So talking about it with a person over text is probably nothing to them. But that doesn't mean they're friends to them in their mind. And then at the same time, it could also be that the second that Gabbie betrayed Trisha in Trisha's mind, that Trisha was like, we're done. I guess we were never friends. I've always had my like insecurities and my inklings that that person was never my friend, and now that this happened, we were never friends. And yes, Trisha said that they were never friends and we've never spoken, and like some of that was proven to be wrong. But again, I don't think Trisha said those words like thinking they were actually factual. It's kind of like when I say I literally want to kill you to my husband. I don't literally plan on killing him. I mean, like, for legal sake, I have to say that. But you know what I mean? Like, you just say things and Trisha dramatizes everything. So like, I don't think we need to be taking her words for exact legal fact. But that's that drama. I don't fucking know. I don't fucking know. I don't know where I lie. I kind of lie in the perception that they just had different perceptions of the same event, and that's fine. And like, yeah, Trisha was rude in there, but like, I don't care. I don't care. I think Trisha felt like Gabbie was rude to her in person and that they weren't real friends, and that Trisha lets their own insecurities get the best of them. I mean, I think that's been proven time and time again that Trisha is self-destructive. Now I need to talk about why the timing of this video was trash. Jessie Smiles. Jessie Smiles uploaded those fucking phone call clips. I will try to find a video down below and link it for you guys so you can listen to the phone call clips. But Gabbie Hanna had an article come out with BuzzFeed that was very poorly researched, and in it she called out Jessie Smiles. So Jessie Smiles released audio recordings and video recordings of her phone call with Gabbie Hanna. In this, Gabbie Hanna says that she spoke to and had relationships with Jessie Smiles' attacker. I'm gonna call him attacker. He's an R-A-P-I-S-T, but I can't say that without getting demonetized. Her attacker, and in the video, it's such an awful thing to watch, because not only does Gabbie Hanna have no fucking emotion at all in it, well, Jessie Smiles is literally breaking down when Gabbie Hanna tells her that Gabbie talked to him because she wanted to get his side of the story. And like, Jessie is like literally having a breakdown. She's like, I have to get off the phone. I have to get off the phone. And Gabbie's like, yeah, okay, no problem, girl. Like, if Jessie was ever your friend, you would feel bad, ask if she's okay, something. But Gabbie's just like, yeah, girl, no problem. TTYL. And also, you went to a party where your friend's attacker was, and you went up to him and let him tell you his side of the story? I'm sorry. If I went to a party and my friend's attacker was there, it would be on fucking sight. If he came up to me, he would know that he was getting kicked in the balls, and then I would stand on the table and tell every girl in that fucking party exactly what he did. Because I am not about to listen to an attacker lie to me about what happened. Like, get absolute fucked. Even if that story is remotely true, which I don't believe, Gabbie Hanna is the worst friend ever then. Like, it's one or the other. You're either the absolute worst person alive, or you're a liar. Pick one. And the fact that Gabbie chose this as her video after Jessie came out with those phone call receipts and just kind of glazed over it. I'm sure she's gonna touch on it on this fucking series, but unless her touching on it is an apology and saying, I fucked up and I was wrong, I don't wanna fucking hear it. And then on top of that, in these recordings, Gabbie Hanna is telling Jessie to issue a public apology. She's asking the girl who was attacked, who Gabbie defended her attacker, to issue a public apology because people are calling her an RAPE apologist. Get the most fucked you could ever get. I cannot fathom Jessie having to go through this and dealing with Gabbie. Like, this alone is absolute garbage, and I want to put this in here because I want people to remember this while Gabbie does her little tell my story videos, that Gabbie Hanna has done some horrible fucking shit, and some of it, I don't give a fuck what your side of the story is. Your side of the story should be, I'm wrong and I apologize. But let's get into the preface of the video. So she basically, this first video or the preface to the series is her sitting on the floor just kind of talking about what the series is going to be. She talks about her second channel and how her second channel, she just like smokes a joint and like talks to the camera, and it's been more healing for her than therapy ever was. And like, red flag, sorry. Like, I know that's for therapy isn't for everybody, but I also fully believe in therapy, and like, there's something about Gabbie Hanna finding it more therapeutic to talk to herself in an echo chamber of people who support her as opposed to talking to a therapist who will call her on her shit. I'm just saying. There's something about that. Like, Gabbie Hanna calls everyone else a narcissist so many times that I think the call is coming from inside the house, girl. I think you should check the landline. I think it's coming from inside the house because, like, I know you're supposed to love yourself, but I think there might be a line and Gabbie might be over it. And like, that to me just like was like step one in there was like cringe. Then she talks about some more personal stuff. She talks about her music career and how she signed with a record label and then ended up making a more rock album that she'll be putting out independently because her album wanted a more pop one. She also calls the album metal and like plays a clip of it, and like, as a rock girl, that like upset me. If I played my husband that song and told him it was metal, he would twitch because he's way more punk rock than I am. Part of me wants to review this album when it comes out. I'm thinking about it. Then she talks about the fact that she broke up with her boyfriend, Peyton, I think. Again, I know nothing about this relationship. So like, she talks about it, sounds pretty healthy, we move along. She also talks a lot, like while she's talking about all of the issues she's been going through over the last year, she has little like pop-ups, like, do you guys remember pop-up music videos? Was that a thing in the States? It was big here. Pop-ups of like ADHD and ADD symptoms. She talks about, you know, mood swings, being unorganized, not finishing tasks, making them more sensitive to criticism, rejection-sensitive dysphoria, and like, here's the thing. I understand that it has been difficult for her to deal with her ADHD, but I also understand that ADHD is a pretty common, like probably one of the most accepted and common mental illnesses, and I just feel like Gabbie is setting this up to make ADHD her scapegoat for everything. Like, she really put it all up there to be like, look at all the things ADHD made me do. It's not my fault. It's ADHD's fault. Which, like, is it though? Is it though? Like, I know friends and family that have ADHD. I'm pretty sure I've been researching over the past while female adult ADD, and I'm pretty sure I'm in there somewhere. But like, it just really feels like she's bringing this up only as a way to scapegoat it. Again, we haven't seen the series yet, so I can't be sure of that, but I really hope that doesn't happen because I really hate people who use their mental illness as an excuse to be awful people. I said this in my general reviews video because she used being neurotypical as like an excuse for excusing racism, and like, no, that's not an excuse. Stop it. Stop it. She also then goes on and on to talk about internet drama, which like, we're not surprised about. She calls everything just internet drama and like talks about they are exploiting her, and like, I don't know who the fuck she's talking about. Like, I'm assuming she's talking about drama channels and like tea channels and like me. Hi, Gabbie. And it's like, okay, listen, nobody is exploiting and abusing and using you for clicks. Like, their entire channel is based on commenting on your actions, Gabbie. And like, it's just, again, we're already victim blaming, and we're in the preface, guys. It's preface, and we're not victim blaming. We're playing the victim, and we're in the preface. And I will agree, Gabbie Hanna reminds me a lot of Jaclyn Hill. She does get a lot of unwarranted hate for stupid shit. Like, they have memed all sorts of dumb shit about her, but also in her BuzzFeed article, she said that she does stupid shit on purpose to get memed, so she'll go viral, because to Gabbie Hanna, getting clicks is the most important thing to her. So it's like hard to feel bad for her. I do think, like I said, like Jaclyn Hill, like, they have done a lot of shitty stuff, but then they get hated on for stupid shit that like shouldn't matter. It's just like, do we need to nitpick about this stuff? So like, I understand she does get some unwarranted hate, but I hate when people like Jaclyn and Gabbie use that unwarranted hate as a way to try to undercut the actual criticism they get for the actual shitty stuff they did. Like telling your subscribers to buy brushes that were a scam, like being an RAPE apologist, you know, just the little things. Like recently attacking people online for no reason. In this video, Gabbie says that all the recent shit she's done, attacking Angelica Oles, attacking Oscar Wilde, attacking Rachel Oates for no reason, was all because she's like, oh, people paint me as the villain, so I decided to feed into it. And it's really hard not to think that Gabbie did this in order to get press and PR and like advertisement for her series, in order to get herself in the media, the online media, in order to promote her series. And like, please keep in mind that you weren't attacking nobody. Like, you were playing the villain and playing into what they wanted me to be, but you were doing it to people who had less subscribers than you, who were real people, and you weren't just attacking them and standing up for yourself. You were calling people narcissistic bitches and abusers when they're just humans. Like, Rachel Oates literally just reviewed your fucking poetry and you called her a narcissistic abuser. Also, she flashed up the fucking definition of narcissistic abuse in there, and it's just like, Gabbie, stop. Stop. And then at the end, she talks about how she's setting this up as to be her farewell to her YouTube channel. She's like, I've been trying to get off YouTube since 2018, but I didn't want the haters to win. But it's like, Gabbie, this is why your YouTube channel died, because you have been telling us all that you hate doing YouTube, and it shows in your content that you don't like doing YouTube. And I think that if this series is a success, there's no way in fucking hell Gabbie Hanna'S gonna leave YouTube. If this series is a success and it goes off well for her, there's no way that Gabbie's gonna leave YouTube. The comments under this video were also relatively positive, although I'm sure she's deleting negative comments because, like, also there wasn't a whole lot in this video, so like maybe it's just her fans are coming for her. I don't fucking know, but like, I just see this series being a big ol' Gabbie Hanna plays the victim and scapegoats her own actions onto something else party. Like, her telling her side is gonna be her excusing her own actions because of her mental illness or because of some other reason, or just completely doing whataboutisms like Smokey Glow said. And like, I just, knowing what I know about Gabbie, I just don't see her sitting down and taking an honest look at her own actions and apologizing or having any sort of actual insightful response. I think that Gabbie thinks she's great, and I think that Gabbie thinks she did nothing wrong in a lot of these situations. And while sure, maybe she was like unfairly attacked for them, it doesn't mean you didn't do wrong. And I really hate this whole like they're out to get me and they abused me and they used me, and it's like, who is they? Drama channels? No one's using you and abusing you. Someone giving commentary on your content, someone giving commentary on your fucking poems, someone reporting about your actions that are unacceptable, like attacking Jessie Smiles and trying to hear out her attacker, is not abuse or exploitation. You are an internet personality, and it's very clear to me that like some people online are not good at dealing with internet hate, and I get it. I could only imagine what it's like, but at the same time, that's not the drama channel's fault. You have to live up to your own actions, or you have to learn to let the hate slide. I know it's not easy, but like, girl, I really hate this whole like they're attacking me and like who is they? I don't know. But that is the basis of the episode 0 and the preface. I would love to know what you guys think down below. Are you going to be watching this series? Do you care? Are you going to watch it just because you're nosy like me? Or are you gonna watch it through me and watch me cry? Like, she's releasing a video a day for I think 8 days. I wonder if the preface counts as a day. I don't have that kind of time. Like I said, I'm getting my second vaccination tomorrow afternoon, so I don't know how mobile I'll be this weekend, but maybe I'll try to post a second video. Like, I want to do, like, every time she does 2 videos, I'll do a recap, because, like, I don't know if I can do I can't do every day. Who am I kidding? I just can't. But yeah, that is what's happening. Again, I don't care if her and Trisha were ever friends. I think that's the stupidest drama ever. Considering what both of them are going through right now, they got way bigger fish to fry. And I think that unless Gabbie holds herself accountable in these videos, it's just going to be a Gabbie Hanna pity party, and like, I'm gonna hate it. So let me know down below what you guys think. Let me know if you're a subscriber of Gabbie's or you have followed Gabbie ever, and like what you think this series is going to be about, how you think it's going to play out. Thank you guys for watching, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye!